So I'm recording garden progress on July 25th, Saturday. It's a little warm here. It's about 94 currently. It was up to like 96 earlier. So let's take a look around. Right over here we got the gigantic cherry tomato plant right in front. It was a volunteer from last year that I dug up and then plopped into the ground right in the front corner, right in the little bed. Gets a little crazy and it's really spreading out because it doesn't get a whole lot of sun. It gets the afternoon and evening sun. But it's pretty cool looking, and there's even reddish tomatoes that are going to be pretty dang good in like, oh man, like soon, maybe even like today. But I'll have to ask Lisa if the red is really red, because you know the story. The bed, flower bed put in the front yard, used to just be all kind of like overgrown grass and stuff, but now we got a bed up there. Rhododendron plant chopped way back. A bunch of hops growing up there in about 3 months. That's more of a fall kind of a deal. Be nice little hop flowers coming. And I'll give you a bigger view of the garden. Starts up there. It's the front yard, by the way. Starts up there toward the street and then comes back towards the edge of the house. Got all kinds of different tomatoes here. We've got the Beefmaster ones, which, I mean, these things are about half the size of what they're going to be eventually. It's a gigantic. Some of them weigh like 2 pounds. Those things go like crazy. Got the soaker hose system going. That comes on for 30 minutes every morning, and that's it. Last year I did 15 minutes every morning and had some really excellent produce, but I'm going to try 30 minutes now. I've got all kinds of different varieties in here. I've got Amish paste, there's an old German, there's Beefmaster, which I just showed you, and there's also there's probably some Sweet 100 volunteers in here as well, and 6 different varieties total. So the cages, big cages around there, the steel cages, work pretty well. I did some stakes, and then I did some other stakes in this thing called a Florida weave. By the time I went to use some of my cages, for one, the plants were too big, and for two, a lot of rocks underneath. They used to have like an RV parking area over here, and it was a little bit too hard to be pushing those little wires through. If I had some rebar, I could really do some good work. So yeah, back here, got the tomatoes on the outside. In between, got green beans, which I just harvested today, a bunch of them. They're doing pretty dang good. And then these things, which I thought was a weed, but then I remembered that I planted turnips, so I yanked one of them out today, and it tasted good, but it was only about the size of your pinky. But I found out that the greens, the turnip greens, are actually really good for you. They're like really high in vitamin K, good potassium, good vitamin A, and all that stuff. So there's a view going down the center. Got different squashes, beans are going up the middle, with the soaker hose down the middle too. There we've got the zucchini. Just kind of threw a bunch of seeds in, and you know how zucchini goes, it just goes like crazy. There's another Beefmaster, it looks like, going like crazy on the vine. And then here we've got, that's some kind of a summer squash back there. And then cantaloupe is one of them. There's another one. What I did was I put landscape fabric underneath the squashes to keep them off the soil and hopefully keep them a little bit drier. That one there is a spaghetti squash. So we'll see how that goes. That should help keep the slugs away too. So this is my first year for beets. Got a big long row of beets there in the middle. And along with the turnips that I got from this place called Tomato Bob's. It's an online place where you can right away and get tomatoes and beets. And he had these for like 50 cents or something like that, these seeds. And so I got rutabaga, beets, and turnips. I mean, with a name like Bob, how can you go wrong, right? So I was hoping Dad could tell me when these things are going to be ready. I mean, I think this is a rutabaga. It's got all these flowers, and those started like as soon as the thing started sprouting up. And it's got seeds on there too, I'm pretty sure. That's what those are. It reminds me of radishes. They have seeds like that. But how to tell when they're ready? I don't know. Maybe they'll just kind of pop up out of the ground and I'll be able to notice. A bunch of carrots down here, kind of as a border, kind of a deal. And then a bunch of cilantro. That's good in salsa, and it's going to be real good. All the tomatoes that we'll have going. There's another guy here. I'm not sure what kind that is. Oh, let's see. That one is an Amish paste. It's pretty small. Got in the ground pretty late this year. But hopefully we'll be able to get some seeds and start them early next year. Looks like the tag wore out on that one, but that might be an old German if I remember right. And there's more squashes. Looks like a rabbit's having a good time with this one here. And then the Florida weave over on this side, with the posts in the middle, and then different rows of the tying as you go on up. So that's the scoop on the main garden. It's looking pretty good, I think, this year. It's getting some good water. You can see all the flowers, all the yellow flowers on those tomatoes, man. We're gonna have a ton of them. Those Beefmaster plants seem to put off like, man, maybe like 30 pounds per plant. Yeah, that's about right. That's a good deal. So over here we got the side garden. We just threw this garden together, the side one, a while back. I had an extra silker hose, so I water it every now and then. Got some beans that are actually looking pretty good at this point. Planted them later, so this will be the second crop. Got those guys going. This was one that I started, this tomato plant, one that I started from seed. I'm not sure what kind it is, but I have the pictures of what they're all supposed to be, so I'm going to compare them later, so that way when I get the seeds next year, or when I get the pictures, I'll be able to label them. And that's a sage bush. This is lemon cucumber. When those guys start going, that'll be some good stuff. As you can see, there's a million weeds in this. This used to be all plants. There's a rose. It's pretty cool. And more weeds. And then some corn. Yeah, it's a little bit late for corn, but what do they say? Toe high by the 4th of July? I think that's what it is. At least that's what we're going with this time. And some more corn. And we got another tomato plant. That's a cherry tomato. This cherry tomato plant variety that I found it like 2 or 3 years ago. Totally awesome. I save the seeds every year, and it's always good. A couple of beans here. These didn't come up nearly as good as ones on the other side. So I'm going to save the seeds from the ones in front and then go with that. And we've got a rose. Another rose coming. And that's about it. Bunch of wood to cut from the tree that used to be here. The neighbor's got a log splitter, so I'm going to borrow that. And should have some good wood for camping and for burning in the fireplace. So that's about it. Hopefully you enjoyed the tour. We'll talk to you soon.